And now, News Channel 10's 24/7 local weather first alert forecast.
Well, good Wednesday morning, everyone. Of course, starting off with a fire warning that is currently in effect just north of Amarillo. Of course, if you've been tracking those wildfires with us here at News Channel 10, that would be the 8-ball fire. Of course, that fire warning, of course, that is for anybody in that area, can be ready for, of course, evacuations. That is currently in effect until 8 o'clock this morning. But, of course, as we watch what we call infrared satellite, which is kind of where we pick out those hot spots, the good news is it looks like that hot spot has gotten weaker and weaker as we've gone throughout this morning. But, of course, we'll continue to provide you updates. You can always follow along with us at newschannel10.com for the latest on wildfires going on around the region, as we still have a couple, but that's currently the only current fire warning in effect for the entire region. Temperatures out there, you'll notice parts of the area much cooler than others, where you're seeing 50s off towards the east, 43 here in Amarillo, but 20s in places like Clovis. You got some mid-30s there further off towards the west, as well as some slightly cooler temperatures are in the forecast for the day today. And those winds here as we start out the morning, thankfully not that bad. It's about 5 to 15 miles an hour, recent gusts around the region. Maybe in the mid-30s as we went throughout the overnight period, but the good news is they're relatively light here to start the day. But that wildfire threat will continue for the day today, as we're still looking at some breezy winds, just not quite as bad as yesterday, but still plenty blustery out there as the jet stream. As you can see, still well set up for some strong southwesterly winds for the day today. You'll see even going through your Thursday, those winds should stick around at least a little bit longer. And then we'll start to kind of get some first signs of relief maybe going into this weekend and early next week. So right now we do have a red flag warning in effect for the entire region. That's every single county in the News Channel 10 viewing area. That's in effect until 8 o'clock Texas time, of course, for those critically dry conditions and some breezy winds out there. In terms of the strongest winds, that'll be kind of in the west-northwestern parts of the area, where you see a wind advisory. That is for current gusts upwards of 55 miles an hour. Of course, anywhere south and east of that line, gusts maybe not quite up to 55 miles an hour, but still 30 to 40 will be expected in parts of the region. So those calm winds this morning start to pick up a little bit right as we go on into the afternoon hours. As you'll see up in the northwest, you'll see sustained wind speeds at a good 20 to 30 miles an hour. Here in Amarillo, about 15 to 25 throughout the bulk of the day today. By 5 o'clock, looks like we're hitting that peak there with those stronger winds, with wind speeds trying to relax at least around 10 to 20 as we go on into tonight. Those humidity values, of course, getting critically dry, even drier than yesterday's, will be around 5 to 15%. So, of course, we are going to be seeing that critically dry weather again. Wildfire danger is still a very prevalent threat, maybe just not quite as bad as yesterday, but we still want you to be vigilant, as, of course, like I said, those wildfires can start and spread very easily. You'll see those humidity values bounce back as we go on into the overnight period. Highs today, we'll see 71 here in Amarillo, 60s off towards the west, where temperatures will be a little bit cooler, mid-70s there further off towards the east. But across the board, those temperatures are just a little bit cooler here to start the day as opposed to yesterday. We're going to continue to cool as we go on into the weekend, as we'll see 60s for Thursday and Friday with light breezes at times. A cold front arrives on Saturday that drops us down to 50 degrees, with overnight lows down in the 20s for a couple of nights before we bounce back into the 60s and ultimately 70s by early next week. So, of course, for the latest on wildfire coverage and, of course, your latest forecast, keep it locked right here to News Channel 10.